nos musiciens, notre show des chez voisins. Le chat qui était au grenier a troublé la société, a payé l'enveloppe, c'est la livette des trompettes, il y en aura. Et l'enveloppe, c'est la livette des trompettes, il y en aura.
Following his own words is an insight into David's personal philosophy of experiential education. I find the greatest satisfaction in working with students in a setting where the often lost arts of flexibility, adaptability, and cooperation are critical to safety, sanity, and success. Wilderness provides this, free of dogma, but full of consequences to test one's actions. And David, I hope I haven't stolen some of your thunder by quoting you there. Please welcome me in honoring this year's Michael Stratton Practitioner of the Year Award, David Lovejoy.
Steve Pace tells me that it's customary for the folks in the room to buy the recipients of awards cocktails following this event. Any truth to that? No, okay. Don't worry. Okay, unlike Sean, I desperately need these glasses, and this may look like a thick piece of paper here, but it really is all in 20-point type. Forgive me if I hold it close to my face, because that's where the focal plane on these glasses are. I'm deeply honored to receive this award. It was completely unexpected. It is particularly meaningful to me as I may be one of a handful of people in this room who actually knew Michael Stratton. He was an instructor for Prescott College Wilderness Orientation Program in 1970. At the time, I was an assistant instructor and also a student at Prescott College. I remember Michael scratching his head at some of my actions and muttering under his breath, "Where did that guy get his training?" Truth be told, I hadn't really gotten any. But those were the ways back then, experiential education in its raw form, pretty much sink or swim. Years later, I remember seeing Michael, or Strat, in a historic Outward Bound film. To date this, the film featured Paul Petzel as an instructor, all pre-Knowles of course, and Michael was a student in the featured patrol. Wow, that's history. Also, Michael made a pronounced impact on me at the 1980 AEE conference in Santa Fe. His memorable workshop titled "Bounding on a Shoestring" was a clear example of how creativity and ingenuity can coalesce to unleash the magic of adventure education without the use of a single nylon climbing rope, backpack, or helmet. I think swamp creeching was the name I remember that he gave to a popular activity that he engaged in with his students in his bare bones program. Prescott College was in similar financial straits at the time, so I stole some pretty good ideas from Mike. Michael was a true practitioner, and thus the title of this award is fitting. And I guess I too have made my contribution as a field instructor as opposed to a technician, as a theoretician or a researcher. In reality, I've never considered myself an exceptional experiential educator. I feel more like one who is able to set the stage appropriately, nudge here and there, then trust the students and let the process unfold. The natural circumstances have provided authentic lessons. I have simply encouraged all, through interaction and awareness, to strive for the most elegant adaptation to conditions that present themselves, with the ultimate goal of understanding what is genuine in the world which seems so intent on hiding reality. As far as personal qualities, humor, prudence, and patience have served me best. Now, as I reflect on how the world has changed, and since that very first conference, and on how experiential education is metamorphosed, I just confess to feeling astounded and even overwhelmed. Back in those days, experiential education was pretty synonymous with Outward Bound, or at least to nature-based classrooms. Now the field has branched, blossomed in so many ways. Words like to serve, to strive, and not to yield are relics of the Pleistocene, usurped by pedagogy, authentic assessment, and multiple intelligence. Artificial environments have become a mainstream of the field. At the AE conference in Charleston, West Virginia, I felt challenged to find a workshop that did not focus on challenge courses. In many ways, this is all wonderful. Improved access to quality education and more controllable risks have resulted. A thrust towards teaching to a host of different populations and learning styles has no doubt heightened effectiveness and legitimized our brand of education. Now our methodologies are being utilized in mainstream education at all levels and in occupational and technical training as well. This is all wonderful and praiseworthy. However, I must admit to lamenting the fact that the natural world has taken a bit of a backseat, as it has in so much of modern life. The digital age and virtual experience is so rich in mesmerizing brilliance and thrilling splash that nature almost seems drab by comparison. Now, our estrangement from the natural world can be seen in so many ways. In our poor health, in our political dealings, in our relationships, in our absence of genuine happiness, and in our climate change. If I have a message, it is not to return to the past, but rather to simply recognize and appreciate our inescapable place within nature and our need to put everything back into perspective. Experiential education plays a pivotal role in this regard. I would like to thank those who have befriended me and influenced me both now and in the distant past. Among them, I would include mentors like Gene Ripplinger, Willie Unsold, Roy Smith, Rusty Bailey, Mike Goff, and Jim Stuckey, as well as colleagues and co-instructors with whom I've worked or whose literature I've studied. Dan Garvey, Steve Pace, Ann Morris, Aaron Lotz, Steve Munsell, Jim Miller, T.A. Loeffler, Pam McPhee, Deb Sugarman, to name just a few. Ultimately, I've learned the most from my students, many of whom have gone on to do great things with their lives, making me proud and the world a better place. Thank you all very much.